Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner as we continue working on my two botanical journals. Now, one of the things that I want to add to the journals is these. I recently saw an authentic one where there was a postcard and it had fabric on it. And then inside of the pocket on the postcard was a calling card. So I've made one here, and then I stuck it in this little belly band. And then I did another one for this journal here. It's got a yellow little hanky there again with the calling card. The calling cards I got off of the Graphics Fairy, and then all I did was add my name to the ones that you can download. So let's just start with the postcards themselves. So in my shop, I have a set of 20 different backs of postcards, and here are 4 of them. So let's just trim a couple down, and we'll use the back of those. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm fantastic. I guess the Super Bowl was yesterday. I have no idea what teams played. I have no idea who won. I think it was in New Orleans. I think I saw that somewhere on a post somewhere, but you know, I used to watch football back in the 70s, back when Joe Namath was a quarterback for the New York Jets. And since then, I haven't really watched football. Now, I will probably Google YouTube the commercials because those can sometimes be the best part of the Super Bowl. So yeah, I'll do that and hopefully get a laugh or two out of a couple of the commercials. But yeah, let's just trim these postcard backs down. We'll use these 2 right here. And then I'm going to age them up a little bit with just a tiny bit of vintage photo. I printed them on a vanilla cardstock, so they aren't completely white, but I do want to age them up just ever so slightly. So I'm going to ink around them. I woke up early this morning. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I really woke up early. Then the other thing I want to do, I have this little stamp that's kind of like, you know, it splatters or coffee stains, something like that. Let me just grab a book page to stamp on. And I like to add a couple of like little aged areas to it. So I usually ink my stamp, then I stamp off, and then I just come in a couple of spots so it's not real dark. And it just gives it a tiny little bit of that aged look. And then So there they are. And then I have, probably like all of you, tons of hankies that you've bought over the years, and I have pulled a couple. You can even get them off of Amazon and then kind of age them, but I pulled a couple out of my stash. One is this pretty blue one, and they are hand embroidered. And then this rose one here. Aren't they just stunning? So what I'm going to do is you're going to put the image on this side. And what I did is, you want a pocket to hold the calling card, but then you also want a flap to be able to flip it up. What I did when I did the previous ones is I just laid the hanky down, and then I took some Fabri-Tac glue and I ran it over the top. To hold the hanky down. And then just kind of bring it down to where you want it to be. And I think that's about the right spot. You want to make sure that it doesn't go too far over here, and that it's at a corner. So let's just do this one too. So make sure I have it the correct way. So a little bit of Fabri-Tac over the top. And then the hanky over it. So we're just going to kind of put it like that. And before I press it down, I'll make sure it's where I want it to be. Okay, and then I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. Now, I told you about the calling cards that I printed off of the Graphics Fairy. And once you download them, if you then put them onto your Word document, you could add your name on there like I've done here. And then I aged them up just a little bit with some of the vintage photo and this stamp, but I still want to add a little bit more to the back end. And I have this vellum, or actually it's tracing paper, that I printed off from a kit, and I'm just going to add a little bit onto the back here. And I've already kind of trimmed it down just so it doesn't look quite so white. So I'm just adding some glue stick here. And then the piece of the tracing paper. And then I'm going to do this one too. And then if I have to come in with some more glue, if I didn't get all the way to the edge, I can do that. Yeah, let's do this one here. Okay. And I think that looks a little bit better. I do can see that I need to come in here on this edge and put a little glue stick here. And on this edge here. These I think are okay. And that just makes it a little bit prettier, a little bit better on the other side. So those are my calling cards. And then let's come back here to our hankies. So now that it's had time to dry ever so slightly, just go in with a pair of scissors and trim it to the size of your postcard. And then I'll turn it over here and trim that end off. We'll do the other one here. It's good to have a nice sharp pair of scissors. These are really sharp down at this end, but they're not so sharp up there. I probably should take them somewhere and get them sharpened. Okay. So that is our flip. So now we want to create our pocket. And all you have to do is grab the same napkin or handkerchief and cut it to whichever size you want it to be. Now this calling card is a little bit wider, so I need to make sure that I save myself enough area to have room for that to go underneath there. And then what I do is if I just bring it up and do a finger press, then I know where to cut it. And it's semi-straight. I could use a rotary cutter too, but we'll just do that like that. Now it looks like I went a little bit askew. It doesn't really matter because that calling card's going to be in there. A little bit off here. And I did not iron this, so it's not exact. So that is good right there. And then let's just lift this up, make sure we have plenty of room. Yeah, I think I do. You know what? It's definitely higher up here than it is on the other side. So I'm going to just trim this up just a little bit. And maybe make that not quite so high up there. There, I think that's okay. And then we're just going to come in with some of our glue and just do a little glue the Fabri-Tac on the edge on 3 of the sides to form a fabric pocket. and then just bring it up and lay it on the card right there. So we're going to let that dry, and then let's do this other one here. So this one goes with that one, and my other one is the blue one here. That's going to go there. Let's just flip this up, take the other corner of your hanky, kind of do a rough measurement. You hear the garbage truck? Okay, I know that went askew a little bit. Oh, let's do a finger press here. Yeah, today's garbage day, so right. When I saw these postcards, I thought, what a fun idea. And depending on how, how decorative your hankies are, you can do a lot. Now, I think I need to cut that down a little bit. It seems like it's too deep of a pocket. So I'm going to just again do a small finger press here so that I know where to trim that. Okay. Yeah, it seemed like it was going to make it really difficult to be able to pull the calling card out of that little pocket. And once again, I just get really high up on this one side here. There we go. All right, and then it doesn't have to be exact. And once again, let's just lay some glue down, some Fabri-Tac, just on the edges there. And then we'll lay it down on our postcard. Okay, and then, do you see how that formed that nice little pocket there? I think that's about dry. It should slide in there, and it does. Isn't that fun? And then we'll also decorate the other side just a little bit, but I want that to dry. Isn't that fun? Oh my gosh, that is just too pretty. I almost wish this side was a little bit lighter in color, but I think it's okay. Yeah, it slides in and out quite well. All right, let's see what we want on the other side. I do have a book here where I keep all of my postage stamps. I just want to make sure that that doesn't, if that glue is too wet, that it doesn't stick. So we've got blue there and then kind of pink there. Let's see what kind of postage stamp we can stick on there. And do I want a faux one or a real one? I have some faux ones back here that are floral, which would look really good with the Botanical journal. Okay, I like that. You know me, I'm kind of a matchy kind of girl. This one here. And I have them cut out already with like a zigzag scissors. But since I had bought these, I have some hair cutting scissors that make it look a little bit more like a postage stamp. And let me show you. Do you see how that is? I just think it looks a little bit more realistic. See the two of them? So let's do this one. Fiona just heard something outside, so she's going to investigate what it is. Okay. And then let's ink these up just ever so slightly. I don't like a lot. I don't like a real heavy inking. Okay. And let's bring in our paper. And we will adhere these down just using a glue stick. And then we'll see what else we want to add. And then now our pink one. Those ridges do catch that glue though. Okay, now let's also bring in our canceled postage stamp. And I have that right there. And I like it to be a little bit on the lighter side. So I usually use my Stampin' Up! Basic Gray. So it's not just completely black. So there we go. Okay. And let's see. And then we need to put the calling card in here. Now what I did on the other ones is I did just add a tiny little bit of lace up there. It's a white lace. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to do a little research within my craft room and see what I could find that might look better up there. I did find a couple of things that I think will work. One is this little bit of trim. I'm not even sure where I purchased it, but I'm going to add, again, just a small stream of Fabri-Tac up on the top here. And lay that down. And let that catch. And I'm going to make sure that it doesn't hang over too much. And then I'm just going to set that off to the side to let it dry just a little bit. And then I found a tiny little bit of rickrack in this green color. And once again, I have no idea where I purchased this. And we're going to lay it over. The top. Oops. So it's funny. Yesterday I was in the kitchen making dinner. My son was kind of hanging out there with me. And at one point I said, oops. And he goes, oops, what, Mom? And I go, I don't know. I hadn't, not that I know of, I hadn't made any kind of mistake. I was like, what was that all about? Why did I say oops? Okay, let's come in here and trim this off. And you know what I'm wondering? If a little tab here, will that, no? Nope, don't like that. Let's trim this off and see what it looks like. I wondered if you need a little tab so that you know to pull it. Nope. What about this? Again, it's just a little piece of, nope. I think that's it. I think we are done, guys. So that is 2 little, oh, did we do, yeah, we did the back. Those are 2 postcards to put in my botanical journal that actually have my calling card in them. And I hope this helped you out. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And I will see you guys on Thursday for Quick Tip Thursday. Thanks and bye-bye.